What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Try Time Podcast. I'm Matt, and you join me for yet another kit video. And this time, we've gone to a land down under. We are in the NRL. Now, rather than do one of each here, we thought, let's, give you one concise, to-the-point video. The very best and the very worst of what the NRL kits have to offer coming into the 2024 season. Now, of course, unlike Super League, the NRL is a little bit different. We have some very traditional kits in there. For example, you can guarantee what the likes of Sydney, Penrith, Canterbury, etc. will all look like, really, before we even start. And to the extent there's not really major change, I've kind of not ignored these kits, but chosen to omit them from some of my rankings. And whilst there are, of course, subtle changes, such as a slightly thicker looking white band on the Sydney Roosters home shirt this year, they're not really deemed enough to wow me compared to last year, or equally to make me feel sick. So without further ado, let's get into the very best and the very worst that the NRL is offering for this season. And starting in no real particular order, I'm going to say that one of the best shirts in the competition this year is the Brisbane Broncos home shirt. What makes this so good? It's just generally a really classy kit, I believe. The sponsor works with the new, more aggressive Kia logo. I love the sashed diagonal cut-off between the burgundy maroon and the goldy yellow on the lower panel, and the intricate details of the lines really just draw your attention to what is a really interesting template. It's different, and different can usually go one of two ways, and this one works. Brisbane home shirt, one of the best this season. Jumping into one of the other beauties in the kit world, I'm going to go for the Dolphins alternate kit. Now, why this one? Well, the Dolphins kit design in general is really quite nice. It's all just a classy, consistent kit. That being said, this weird mouldy colour that they seem to have gone for on the bottom of the home and the away, it doesn't do it for me. So whilst it's still present as an accent colour here, the black and red just works a lot better. It's a more timeless combination. Yet it still incorporates those key club colours. For only the second season in the competition, the Dolphins are making waves on the pitch and in the kit market. I would say the alternate is one of the best we've got in the NRL. The next one I'm going to go for, and this is a controversial one, it's the Manly home shirt. Now, again, it's another shirt that works because of what it is. The colourway sponsor that all ties in, it's all white badges, white decals, white patterns on a classic maroon Manly kit. This is what the Seagulls should do best. This is the kit you imagine the likes of Turbo, Cherry Evans winning games single-handedly in. It's a beautiful shirt. It doesn't fall into the same trap as their away shirt of having the points in points bet in red, which would really kill the vibe of the shirt. It all ties together really nicely. It's really smart done. Manly, easily one of the best this season, and that is genuinely a shirt I think I'm going to have to find a way to buy myself. In terms of the best then, I'm going to do two more of these and go for 5 of each. And this was where I started to get tough, because we're either in a situation where we've got a lot of very similar kits, or there's something that doesn't quite do it to me. And this is one that's kind of a timeless classic design, and probably the one you're going to know what you get most. It's the South Sydney away shirt. Who can argue with the timeless green and red stripes, right? There's only one thing that could possibly let this down, and it's the big MG logo. But actually, with the white cutaway, for me at least, I think it works. I've always personally preferred the away shirt with the white accents to the home with the black. And that is something that is not different here. To the extent you're the other way around, you might want to interchange and put the home shirt here. But for me, the bunny The Telstra Premiership logo looks cleaner in white. You've got the What If sponsor, which is white on both shirts, so having black alongside it on the home looks a bit of a clash. Here it all looks like one coherent design. And that's generally just really smooth. And the last one I'm going to go for was a bit of a toss-up. I was seriously considering the Canterbury away shirt, but then I kind of just thought, no, we've seen it way too many times before. It's not that special compared to others. So I decided to go for another shirt that's not that much different to what we've seen many times before, and that is the Penrith away shirt. Everybody knows in rugby league we love a pink kit. It's just part of the fact. What I think makes this one a little bit different, we've obviously got a new sponsor. Now I'm trying to think whether they had these last year or it was still Oak. Either way, I think the MyPlace sponsor looks really smart on the pink kit. You've got the classic Penrith design with the multicoloured banding that has been transferred onto the away shirt in a offset deeper shade pink. I think the yellow on the Hertz and the Allen logos works really well in terms of standing off the pink without, on these computer renders at least, looking too abrasive against the design. I think the black and white colour coding of all the badges and sponsors is really smart. And just in general, it's a pink kit. Who doesn't love a pink away kit? You know, we're Northern Hemisphere boys. Hull KR's was on there this year. I've loved the Leeds away kits of the past that have been pink. Penrith is no different. Now, after that treat for your eyes, I'm afraid things do go south. There are some, frankly, horrendous shirts this year. In my opinion, these are the worst of the bunch. Again, no particular order. I'm going to start with the Melbourne Storm away kit. This is a kit I want to love. It's the purple above the sleeve, which is very similar to the home shirt, with just slightly more compact and lighter purple lines across the shoulder, is a thing of beauty. You've got this really bright yellow thin V that separates them. Again, we see it on the home shirt. It is beautiful. And then we've got a plain white t-shirt with a massive sponsor logo in black and red that doesn't fit the club's colours, that ruins the cohesion of the shirt. And it just looks dull. You know, Melbourne's home shirt's a thing of beauty. Even in its current iteration, which I don't personally think is as good as the old school Storm kits from about 10 years ago, the little lightning bolt down the side that gives some identity to the club and its badging, it's a plain white t-shirt. For all the things, the shoulders and the top of the shirt look and amazing and do right, it's let down by lazy design at the bottom. Yeah, not for me. I think that's a really underwhelming effort from Melbourne. The second one I'm going to go for, and this was again a toss-up between home and away shirts, but I've gone for the Newcastle away shirt. I don't have a problem with the design itself, and funnily enough, this goes into the you kind of know what you're going to get part of the video. But what is that sponsor? For a start, it looks too high up. It's sat right under the badge. Why is it green? And why does it cross over the transition between the blue and the white V? It's just sloppy. It just doesn't look nice. I'm going to move on before I have to look at that shirt anymore. And the next one I'm going to go for is, it's the New Zealand away shirt. And again, this is a very similar sort of problem. The actual design of the shirt is a thing of beauty. I love the faded stripes. I think the traditional Maori sort of tribal patterns in the blue is fantastic. This would easily have made it onto the best kits of the year if it wasn't for the giant green One New Zealand sponsor. And this is what turns one of the best shirts into the competition into one of the worst. Now, I don't like this on the home shirt, but I will give it the due that they've incorporated the green and the red and the white arches and ends of the specs all meeting behind the sponsor. It's almost like this colour clash has created this big explosion of one New Zealand ball on the front of the shirt. The away shirt doesn't have that. It crosses into the blue criminally on the second stripe. The green and red lines fade through it, which I don't really see a reason for. Don't get me wrong, I understand in order to spend this salary cap, you've got to have sponsors, and they do ultimately dictate part of the shirt, but I'd like to think that they could have done something a bit better to incorporate the logo into the design. And I'm just generally disappointed, because it should be one of the best shirts here, and it just isn't. I think, speaking then of disappointments, again, like I said, this is an unfortunate one, but it comes from Gold Coast, and it's, again, the away shirt here. This is a colour scheme that has the potential to create a really nice shirt. I mean, you've got the pale blue, oceany blues turning into the whites, which go really nicely. You know, you've got some yellow accent in there. There's a real coastal theme to this shirt that could do something exquisite. And what we've got instead just isn't that. You've got this little fade out of the blue, which I actually quite like. You've got this, again, the yellow banding across the top, split from, frankly, some plain white shoulders, which, similar to the Melbourne thing, it doesn't really deliver, but, you know, it's kind of what we expect from a Gold Coast away shirt. I'll let it off on that a little bit. What I hate here, I don't like the sleeve sponsor being bright yellow. I think it doesn't work on the white. It's different to what we've got on the home shirt, of course. Why is that? I don't know. You've then got the fact that these lines cut through the badge, the Telstra logo, which weirdly has a blue box background. For a shirt that segues so nicely down the bottom half of the shirt, it's all just very blocky at the top. It feels like it's been executed quite poorly. And I mean, again, the lottery office sponsor, it's not a nice one, but it kind of is integrated a bit better than the one New Zealand that we were talking about previously. And without further ado then, the worst kit in the NRL this year, in my personal opinion. And this one I'm really disappointed about, because this is the NRL club that I follow and would say, go as far to say support. And it's the Parramatta away shirt. And my first question is, what the hell is this? I guess if I start at the top, do I want to start at the top actually? I don't know. Why do we have this traditional stripe pattern stop at either of the badges? And again, it's really annoying because we've almost got this pixelated, faded out thing going on at the side, which actually looks really nice. But that should be at the other end with the band going all the way across, which we can't do because it's interrupted by badges and sponsors. So then you kind of think, do we at least have that at the bottom? And we kind of do. But it weirdly angles inwards as the shirt goes up, and the band doesn't quite go to the edges in any form. And it looks low compared to the Elan sponsorship. It just looks like a shirt where they've come up with 4 different ideas, couldn't decide which one to do, and in the end shoved them all on one kit, to the point it looks messy and convoluted. I look back to the days, there were some beautiful Parramatta shirts over the years, especially the alternates. The yellow ones speak, in my memory, as absolute classics. And they've been replaced by this. And whilst, don't get me wrong, it's an improvement that we've got rid of the big boxing around the land. This just isn't the step forward I'd like to see. You know, I look at the home shirt and they've at least gone for some interesting gradient texture with this whole pixel thing. The yellow bands on there are again in what look to be small diagonal bands, it's different. And the pixel thing on this is cool. It's just executed so poorly. And then, there's other things I don't like about this shirt that are kind of in the background here. I don't love the yellow banding on the shoulders and coming down to the waist. Again, it's similar actually to Leeds' home shirt this year, which kind of just looks like they've sewn two different kits together. I think the yellow on the collar and the cuffs is a bit thick. Yeah, I could go on for a little bit longer. I'm conscious this video is over 15 minutes already talking about random shirts from the Australian League. This is not what you want to listen to. Parramatta away, worst shirt of the season for me. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and join us for a big preview into the NRL coming up soon. We've got the Championship on the way, and of course, we've already done our Super League predictions the other week. You'll know by now how we're getting on with those. Which one of us is going to have egg on our face? Sport Channel, find out, guys, and we look forward to seeing you through the rest of the season. Goodbye.